What's up? Welcome back to Nowstalgia. Dave here with a review of Bad Bunny's fifth album, Nadie Sabe lo que va a pasar mañana, aka Nobody Knows What Will Happen Tomorrow. Album 5 from Benito. Bunny said he was taking the year off, but like many artists at the very top, it is hard to stay away. Another full-length album. He just announced a brand new stadium tour for 2024. Bad Bunny's back. And of course, we know he's had a big year, involved, of course, in wrestling, now dating Kendall Jenner. Had, only the most streamed album of all time on Spotify last year with Un Verano Sin Ti, his complete commercial breakthrough album from a global sense. Of course, Bad Bunny has been, making noise and breaking records for a while now. Of course, a few albums back was the first #1 album in the US, all in Spanish. Un Verano Sin Ti was the first album of the year nominee to be all in Spanish. Bad Bunny does not compromise his music, who he is, or how he makes his music, and yet he still is taking over the world. He makes everyone else compromise to work with him. That's exactly what we want to see from the democratization, the globalization of music on the global stage. Bad Bunny continues to do that for us. We love that. And right now, even though, again, to this point, he had not released anything this year, he's, only at 80 million plus monthly listeners on Spotify, number 4 behind only Drake, Taylor, and The Weeknd, esteemed company, to say the least. And yeah, I think, honestly, I'm pretty excited about Nadie Sabe, just because, to me, this is the Bad Bunny sound I'd like. This is Bad Bunny going back to his roots, going back to like X100 Pre, the first album, going back to his original sound. This is Bad Bunny returning to Latin trap and like hard reggaeton, and it's not as palatable and pop leaning as some of Un Verano Sin Ti was. I think Un Verano Sin Ti, obviously a great album, a massively popular album, but songs like, songs like Titi Me Pregunto and El Apagón and, Masca Mule, Después de la Playa, like, those are, lighter songs. Because that's the kind of music he made on that. And of course, he became the biggest artist in the world as a result of that. But to me, it's cool that he wants to go back and kind of return to that early roots sonically. But it's not a complete retreat, because Bad Bunny still is actually doing some new things on this album towards the end of the track list, which I think is really exciting. So overall, I think it's definitely a bloated album. It's long, 22 songs, an hour and 21 minutes. You could have cut a ton of this album, but there are some big highlights for me on this. Right off the bat, the title track, the lead track, Nadie Sabe, stands out because it's, over 6 minutes long. It's kind of this like opening treatise where Bunny is talking about his life and how he kind of feels about things. In general, he is not afraid to get a little bit negative, talk a little spicy on this album and basically flip off the haters. It's pretty fun. Track 2, Monaco, which had been released a little while ago. This is a Latin trap banger. This shit hard. I think this song is great. Following that up, you have Fina featuring Young Miko. And Young Miko be spitting, man. Again, another banger. This is Bunny leaning into his most hip-hop friendly music. This, and again, bringing you back to the trap. I think it's really fun. I like Habiki, pulsing bass, just a straight-up hard reggaeton song. Really enjoy it. Cybertruck, the same kind of thing. VOW 787. That one is cool because he's sampling Madonna's Vogue and has, I think, my favorite line in the album where he says, "I don't speak in English." The only time he speaks English on the album. Really funny. But I think that song's good. Baby Nueva, I love the bass. Los Pits, I like the bass. Very bouncy on that one. Vaticano, I like the drums. Where She Goes. This is one of the interesting songs. This is something new. This is Bad Bunny riding on a Jersey club beat. Obviously, Jersey Club production is more in vogue in a mainstream sense today than it was before Drake brought it back with Honestly Nevermind, a year and a half ago. But still cool to hear Bad Bunny, of all people, sing in Spanish, rap in Spanish on Jersey Club. Pretty cool. Thunder and Lightning, featuring the Puerto Rican rapper Eladio Carrion. Man, this shit's hard. This shit's so hard. They are trading bars. It sounds so cool. And it's not just Latin trap. This is drill. This is Bad Bunny's first drill song. Again, it's super exciting to hear him do something new. And unsurprisingly, Bad Bunny, very credible on drill beats. Very cool. Love it. I think from there, the album kind of fades out a little bit. I think Acho PR, collabing with a bunch of his Puerto Rican OGs. Very cool. Nice gesture for sure. But yeah, I think this is kind of destined to not really get as big as, Un Verano Sin Ti. That being said, Where She Goes is already over 500 million streams, having come out earlier in the year. I think that says something, for sure. Bad Bunny is also basically too big to fail at this point. This is why he is putting out music now, even though he said he's going to take a year off. He's kind of in the Drake sense of things right now, where he wants to kind of feed the streets. Pretty interesting. Also, I think Spanish music, Latin music in the West, globally, moves very quickly. I think, as people know, Peso Pluma is having a gigantic year out of Mexico. Corridos tumbados becoming increasingly in vogue. Bad Bunny, not too long ago, was the young upstart bringing Latin music to the masses in an interesting way critically. Of course, there's he has peers, right? But, he kind of disses on this album J Balvin, right? He says, J Balvin, who wants to be friends with everybody, however he says it. Balvin has not been interesting critically, I don't want to say ever, but in a long time, because he just makes really vanilla, bland pop music. Bad Bunny, despite his popularity, is nowhere close to that. Doing new things on this, making a Jersey Club song, making a drill song, deciding to go back and remind you that he still can go hard on Latin trap beats and make just pure reggaeton shit. Bad Bunny's got it. I think it's really cool to, be in this place where someone like Peso Pluma can absolutely explode, and he's doing very different things from what Bad Bunny is doing now in a very mainstream, technically, fashion, even if the music itself isn't traditionally mainstream. Very interesting. I'm sure we'll be hearing more from Bunny very soon, because, I don't know, I'm kind of putting him in the bucket now where he is struggling to get away due to his fame. And maybe that's good for us. We'll see if the art suffers overall. Again, it's a bloated album, but there's so many highlights on this that I really can't be too critical of it. So shout out Bad Bunny, his 5th album, Nadie Sabe. Let me know, how'd you feel about this one? How'd you compare it to Un Verano Sin Ti? Again, a very different, genre expression, return back to the old roots. How'd you feel about Bunny bringing it back? How do you feel about his new dalliances towards the end of the track list? And for more music reviews, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.